Senator Abubakar, you have finished your question. Senator Abubakar, you have finished your questions, yes? Senator Saliu Egi.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. Mr. Nominee, you have been a teacher, an academic, as well as a university administrator. You will agree with me that one of the reasons why we have lagged behind technologically is because of the delivery of our research findings to the appropriate quarters. Now, specifically what I mean is that applied research from our tertiary institutions and research departments do not reach where they're supposed to go, specifically to investors and market technocrats. If you are made Minister of Education or Minister of Science and Technology, what will you do to ensure that research findings, especially applied research findings, are utilized by the industries and investors as it is obtained in other climes? Thank you.
Thank you, Senate President and Senators. The first question is about JAM exams. We have a very serious problem with the UME administration as it presently stands. Unlike a few years back, there was a separate examination for university-bound entrants and those entering into the polytechnics, and another one for the College of Education. Quite recently, these UME separate exams were fused into one exercise, whereby students desiring to enter the university and those desiring to go into polytechnics and those desiring to go into College of Education all sit for the same examination. But they are supposed to indicate in their forms which area they would want to go. I have it on good knowledge that about 85 to 90% of our students indicate interest in going to the universities, and the rest shared between the polytechnics and College of Education. Sadly, what happens is they take this examination and the results are released. JAM takes the blueprint, the printout, to the universities first, allowing them about a month or thereabout to choose and pick those they want. And understandably, they take the very best into the university system. Next, they pass on what is left to the polytechnics to choose. And they pick whatever is left. And finally, that list is passed on to the College of Education, where they pick the dregs. Those that the university didn't want and the politics didn't want is what we send to the College of Education. In response to that question, there must be a total relook at what is going on in the UME examinations, to give a breather to teacher education, to afford the teacher education sector the opportunity to benefit from choosing the best in the JAM examinations. It's worrisome, and if given the opportunity, is one of the areas we're going to look at. Senator Morin, Ogutelek. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. I would love a situation where Ogutelek develops an international enterprise. Presently, we have a golf course there, but not very well kept. Our patronage is getting low. There'll be need to upgrade the golf course there so that to attract international golf players to come there. We have a new conference center there. We have equally the Oguta Lake Motel that is getting some patronage from workers of Shell who come there to conduct conferences. It is in the mind and the plan of government to develop Oguta Lake, and it's such a wonderful place. The scenery is beautiful and very attractive for investors. Maybe senators who would want to invest in that very serene atmosphere could afford themselves the opportunity of being served. New education focus. Distinguished senators, we have a problem in the education sector. A problem arising from some dissonance and disconnect between what the child wants to learn, how he wants to learn, in consonance with the demands of his age and time, as against what the school system, us, want them to learn and how we want them to learn. That's equally the problem of provision of infrastructure from government. And finally, the end users, industries, business outfits, who feel that what we are doing in our school system is not responding to the demands of industry and business. What has been responsible for this? There is no ownership of what is going on in the education sector in Nigeria as of today. The child or the learner is at one page. Government is at one page. And industry and employers of labor at one page. There is no interface, there's no link. What the industry wants to do is not precisely what the school system is doing. What the child wants to learn and how he wants to learn is not precisely what the school system is doing. Now there is a need at this point for the government to declare, if I may request, a kind of state of emergency on our education sector. If you do that, well, or a Marshall Plan, develop a Marshall Plan based on the very reasoned and well-articulated programs listed in the APC manifesto, which has been directed to address these issues. We must focus on those things and get our bearing right.